Hello and welcome to the weather update. It's October 19th, 2019, a little after 8 p.m. And we had a fairly clear day today, maybe a little scattered, very scattered cirrus across the area, but a fairly clear day across the area. And down below, you see here is Nestor. So here's Nestor, and you can see its fast movement as we go through the day here and get all the satellite images loaded to the afternoon. You can see its rapid movement, very disorganized system, but you can see we're starting to see some of the cirrus from that move into our area after a fairly clear day. Here is a look at that here on the satellite. And you'll see again, there is the cirrus moving into our area. So let's take a look at the latest on what is now the post-tropical cyclone. Nestor is what they're calling it. This is a new thing they like to use now. So post-tropical cyclone Nestor. Gale force winds over the Atlantic waters and along the coast of northeast Florida and Georgia. That spreads northward into the Carolinas. Isolated flash flooding is possible into the southeastern United States, and wind and coastal flooding hazards along the east coast will be covered by non-tropical watches and warnings issued by the local National Weather Service offices. So let's take a look at the latest public advisory on what is now post-tropical cyclone Nestor inland over the Florida Panhandle, and this is the last advisory. So as of 5 p.m., the center of Nestor is located near latitude 30.4 north, longitude 84.1 west. The post-tropical cyclone is moving toward the northeast at near 23 miles an hour, and this general motion is expected to continue through Sunday night. On the forecast track, the center of post-tropical cyclone Nestor will move across portions of the southeastern United States tonight and Sunday. The cyclone is expected to move offshore of the coast of North Carolina into the western Atlantic by late Sunday. Maximum sustained winds have decreased to near just 40 miles an hour with higher gusts. Little change in strength is forecast during the next day or so, with some slight strengthening possible Sunday night and Monday when post-tropical Nestor moves over the western Atlantic. Tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 240 miles east of the center, mainly over the Atlantic waters just offshore of the Georgia coast. The NOAA buoy at Grays Reef, Georgia, recently reported a sustained wind of 38 miles an hour with a gust of 43. Minimum central pressure is 999 millibars. That is 29.50 inches. So we're going to go to Ventusky now, and let me go to Ventusky. We're going to just take a look at what Nestor looks like on the radar, so you can see, get an idea of what this looks like. We're going to pull out all the way here and show you what it looks like on the radar here. So here's a very disorganized system, but it could possibly reorganize when it emerges over the Atlantic. So again, we'll have to keep our eye on that and see what happens. All right, I don't know. So we're gonna go look at the models. Right, 56 degrees at Central Park. Let's take a look and see what we have at Farmingdale. It is, drum roll please, 52 degrees, dew point 43. Let's take a look at the high today. So the high was 58, and we had clear skies. A wind started off from the northwest and then shifted around noon to the south. And that is as that high that we had moves offshore. I'm just curious what West Hampton is. West Hampton down to 41. So we're getting radiational cooling in some areas. So West Hampton is down to 41. And what did West Hampton hit today? 57 as well. And then we'll contrast that with JFK, which is probably a lot different. So 53 at JFK, dew point up to 46, and mostly cloudy skies at JFK. And lastly, we'll go ahead and look at Toms River, which probably still the warmest spot, but we'll see. It might be radiating there. No observations at Toms River. All right, there are a couple, but wow, it said it got up to 64. Nope, that's a mistake. The last observation was at the 16th. Okay, so Ocean County, once again, they're responsible for maintaining that airport, and they need to do a better job. Oh, Belmore Farmingdale's not working either. What is it with New Jersey? None of the New Jersey ones seem to want to work. Okay, I'm just curious as to how warm it was there. That's all I want to know. For some reason, Mount Holly is working. I see Mount Holly displaying, so We may have to use that one. Let's see if we can. All right. We got McGuire Air Force Base. Okay, so it's 48 at McGuire, so it is radiating a little bit. What did it hit there? Oh, yeah, of course. It's warmer there. 63. No surprise. Good. You always got to add 5 degrees at least when it comes to Jersey. So, wow, it got up to 63 there. Not nearly as cool as here, but it was clear for the day. So I don't know what's going on with both Ocean and Monmouth County airports. I'm not sure what is the problem over there. But anyway, let's go look at the models, and let's see what's going to happen here with what is left of Nestor. So we're going to look at the GFS first, and I say what is left. It's still producing a good amount of rain here. So it's going to be moving into the Carolinas, as you see, and you see it's moving a little. It's going to emerge east of Delmarva, out over the ocean, but then it's going to move east-northeast, and you can see it's moving due east. But take a look what's happening. See, this model's starting to greet the ICO. Sort of puts the brakes on a little bit right there. You see that? And then goes into New England. Hopefully, it does not appear it's going to strengthen, so it would just be like a coastal storm. We'll have to keep our eyes on that. Here comes that cold front, and then we have nice weather again for the Wednesday into Thursday. All right, but focusing on Nestor, let's take a closer look and see what's going to happen here. We're going to go to eastern U.S. here. We'll use this one. All right, so here's the track of Nestor again, and it emerges out over the water and then kind of just dissipates there. All right, the good news is that it dissipates, but and we don't know if it's definitely going to do that. That's the thing, because the waters are warmer than normal, and we have to look at all the models. So first, let's see how much rain we're going to get. Well, we're going to look at that later. So let's take a look at some of the other models here. I'm curious. Let's look at the ICON model. Okay, because the ICON was the one that was having it do that, because there's a high here that's sort of blocking it. And this is the same thing you had with Sandy. You had that high, and then it steered it back in. So the ICON, see, it kind of just puts the brakes on right there, and then goes up into Maine, it looks like, but just as a regular extratropical low. So that's the good news. Is that model doesn't have it strengthening either. That's the good news. Let's take a look at the NAM 12 kilometer. This is the 18Z 12 kilometer NAM. So okay, so here is the track. You see the NAM tracks that rain much closer, much further north than the other models, and gives us some heavy rain Sunday night into Monday, and then gets it over the water, and then it strengthens it, and then weakens it. So it's possible it could gain a little strength as it's moving away. It's possible. He said anything is possible. We'll have a better idea tomorrow night. I know I hate to sound like a broken record here, but when these things get out over the water, all bets are off, and it could strengthen again. It could strengthen again. So, not done yet. I want to look at a few other models here. Let's look at the RGM. On the track on the RGM here. RGM doesn't take it quite as close. It seems to be just a NAM, but you see, how has it sit there for a little bit on Monday? And it only goes out that far on the RGM. Let's look at the Canadian. Let's see so that has it emerging, and then the Canadian has it taking the more of a GFS-like track. The same thing again, and then so that's the Canadian, which is not a great model to use. Let's go to the Euro. This is the Euro model. Now, again, the Euro model here is a little different than the one at windy.com. So Euro also has it suppressed more to the south. So that's what I'm thinking. It's suppressed more to the south. Hoping that's what it is. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Let's go back to let's go change our regions to our area and take a look and see. Let's go back to the GFS and take a look at the precipitation, or the precipitation that we may see from Nestor in our area. And the GFS keeps almost all the heavy stuff well to our south, mostly over Delmarva. All right, but look what happens when I go to the NAM. See, it has it much, much closer. Much closer. You could see a good over an inch, and New Jersey could see over 2 inches of rain. So this is a difference here, a big difference between the two models that we have. Um, let's HRRR. It's probably not in range of that yet. Um, let's see what other model I could use. Let me see the ICON model. ICON also has it to the south. All right. RGM doesn't quite go far out enough. We already knew that. So you're looking at two different scenarios here as far as the precipitation goes. The next thing we need to do, we're going to go back to the NAM, and we're going to take a look at the impacts as far as wind go, like if there are any wind impacts on us. So let's back this up. So the NAM is much further north, much closer, and stronger with the low as well, as you see. But it has the worst of the winds offshore. However, some of the wind could get the east end, but wind wouldn't be an issue. However, we could be dealing with beach erosion. That is something we could be dealing with again. Beach erosion and coastal flooding. That's a possibility. That's the NAM solution. And again, you can see the difference. NAM and then the GFS is much further to the south and weaker, whereas the NAM is closer and stronger. Which one of those is right? That's anybody's guess. But the NAM is generally an outlier, but it's also a model that's more reputable. But the Euro is in agreement more with the GFS. So I'm thinking that the NAM is wrong. Right? That's what I'm thinking right now. All right, and that we won't see that much rain from this, and we won't see much wind either. But again, things can change by tomorrow. We'll have to see what happens. So we'll now look at the temperatures. And as we go into tomorrow will be cooler. It'll be in the 50s. Well, no, it'll be about the same as today, but it will be cooler for the folks in New Jersey. And then for Monday, we've rebounded to the 60s. And then Tuesday, we have one more warm day before that front comes through, and boom, it cools it off nicely. All right. Well, it'll be fair. It looks like low 60s, maybe mid 60s in Jersey, obviously. And then it warms up a little more on Thursday, maybe upper 60s, and perhaps 70 in New Jersey. We'll look now at the dew points. You can actually clearly see the center of Nestor right there. So now we're going to look at the dew points. And we'll see what happens here with the dew points. So, dew points stay low, but they might come up a little bit, but not really that much. Again, you can see the track of Nestor and its moisture well to the south of us. We see those dew points maybe come up on Tuesday night with another front that's going to come through, which we'll talk about after we get done with Nestor. Whatever its effect is going to have on our area. So here comes that front come through. Boom, much cooler, drier air comes through. Dew points down into the 30s. All right, but we know, let's again change that to the NAM. And the NAM is closer, and it's more robust with the winds, as you see, and has the moisture closer to us. However, we still don't really get into that really humid air. However, Delmarva could. Delmarva could get into that really humid air. So if you're in Delmarva, you might be sweating. But that stays to the south of us, basically. And then there's that front. And this would be the next chance for precipitation after Nestor is this front right here would be the next chance for precipitation. And this could bring us a good amount of rain too, though it probably will move through pretty quick, so it probably won't be like more than an inch, but it'll be it'll be a significant amount of rain, but not a tremendous amount of rain, if you know what I mean. So again, there's Nestor on the NAM. All right, and I can go to the 3-kilometer NAM too and show you what it looks like as well, so you get an idea. It's bringing that heavy rain very close to our area. And again, this one actually has it getting down even more, down to 998. So we're gonna have to watch this. That's all I'm saying. Whether I don't think the NAM will be right, but this is another scenario that could possibly happen, and that would bring a lot more rain to our area for tomorrow. Let's go look at the clouds now. We'll go ahead and look at the clouds. Obviously, we're going to have increasing clouds tomorrow, and it'll be mostly cloudy most of the day. And you can see there's the circulation in Nestor. That moves away, and then Monday, especially toward the afternoon, we break out of the clouds and have some more sunny skies. And then that's as far as it goes on that run. So we'll look at the GFS, same thing here for Monday. Now, Monday, GFS actually hangs the clouds in a little more over our area, so it's a little more interesting. GFS has the clouds hanging out over Long Island, over the Jersey Shore, but more sunshine in New York City and to the west and north. So it's the GFS. So it's interesting that the NAM is closer, but the GFS slows the storm down, which slows down it clearing out. So that's interesting right there. So here comes, and then we have more clouds for Tuesday, and then boom, that front comes through. We have a nice day on Wednesday, and maybe Thursday too. Clear skies. So let's go and look at one more model here as far as the skies go, and that's the RGEM. RGEM also seems to have this idea of slowing the system down, as you see there. So it tracks it further south, but it slows it down. So we're going to have to watch this system. We're going to have to watch this system. All right, if I go to current storms here, all right, remnants of Nestor, we're going to look at right now the satellite loop of Nestor. So here's the satellite loop of Nestor. You could see some really big convection going on over Georgia. This did spawn a tornado in Florida, by the way, around Tampa, I think. Was it Tampa? I think it spawned a tornado in Florida. From again, these storms are intense. Even though the storm itself, the post-tropical cyclone Nestor, is not organized at all. The storms it's producing, look at how high those cloud tops are. So they're pretty intense storms. Here is the, we'll just look at this from the Hurricane Center here. See, it has it tracking over here. Has it for much further south. So this wouldn't be an issue for our area, obviously, with this track. All right, and it's racing to the northeast at 23 miles an hour. I want to look at the hurricane model. So let's look at this. So these are the models here, and you see some of them take it closer. And a few of them take it into Maine. There's one of them takes it into Maine, one of them takes it into Nova Scotia. But again, the models will change. We're going to have this storm could do something unpredictable. Hopefully it takes the predictable path south and out to sea and does not affect our area. So that does conclude this weather update. Thank you for watching.